Hey guys! If you've never been on my channel before, I'm AmazzonKane. I'm a writer. I obsess over Anaconda. I do rewatch videos. That's what this is. And my ultimate goal is to run an official reboot of the series. You can even see what that would look like on my channel, as I organized a small team to revamp the theme song. This episode is Nonna's Lib.
This is the best slice of pizza I've ever had, on account of the fact that I had to work so hard to get it. It all started a few days ago. Nona was waiting for Uncle Nikki to show up and watch the pizza parlor for her, so she could go to the used library book sale at the library.
The Italy clock.
Oh, Mamma Mia, where is that no good son of mine?
Oh my God.
Nikki, where you been? You're over an hour late.
Ah, jeez.
One day a month I asked you to help me. It's so hard for you to remember.
I would have been on time, Ma, but you didn't lay out today's clothes for me.
Oh my God.
I had to actually look in the closet myself.
I don't
Oh,
have
Nikki,
time
you're
to
so
argue
pathetic.
with Nikki, the 5-cent book sale ends in 10 minutes. The romance novels are always the first to go.
Hey, Ma, pick me up a box of the Fruity Flakes while you're out, huh?
Ah,
That is
jeez.
when we showed up at Abatti's Pizza looking for a slice of pizza. Closed?
Come back in 10 minutes. We're closed for, an employee meeting.
Employee meeting?
I didn't think Uncle Nikki was an employee.
Yeah, doesn't being an employee imply you actually work?
So we waited
How
outside
does he
Abatti's
make money?
while Nona Abatti looked for a
Poor
book
Nona.
sale.
Hello, anybody here? Is there anything left in a romance?
You
Aw.
Too late. No romance books for you.
Oh,
Knew it.
all the Twilight and 50 Shades of Grey are gone.
The cry of the she-wolf.
The right side of that looked like Data from Star Trek.
I don't know if I can hold out for much longer.
What could be taking her so long? It is when the she-wolf feels trapped in her den that she must separate herself from the pack and cry her cry. It is time for her to leave her pups and run wild. Hey, the she-wolf sounds an awful lot like me. Always doing for others and... What are you kids doing standing around here, eh?
We can't go in on account of Uncle Nikki locked us out.
Nikki!
Oh, yeah! That's right, Kung Fu Critic.
How lazy.
Don't take
God damn it.
no
Oh my
for
God.
an mental Ted.
Nikki!
Oh, Ma, back so soon? Good time at the thing you was going to?
Oh my God.
Nikki! Where are all my customers?
You're right here, Ma.
Aww.
No pizzas in the oven, huh?
No pizzas in the oven?
That's because, hey, Ma, you didn't pick me up my Fruity Flakes.
Jesus.
Nikki, I did not pick up your Fruity Flakes because it's not my job to pick up your Fruity Flakes. I am a howling she-wolf, not a your maid. Arrgh!
But, Ma,
Don't but ma, me. Do you know what some mas do when their children are helpless and weak? They eat them, Nikki.
Cannibalism! Alright, it's been a while.
I think that I would have such an ungrateful son. You can't even watch at the store for 10 minutes for your mother who takes care of you? And what do you want?
We were hungry
And you expected me to feed you, eh?
Well,
just
they're at a
wanted
restaurant.
just wanted. That's all I ever hear. Oh, Nona, we just wanted you to do the laundry. Oh, Nona, we just wanted you to make a dinner.
But Nona, you don't understand.
Because I've lived all my life in the kitchen, I don't understand, eh? Well, I got something to tell you, Angela Anaconda. I'm ready to leave the pots in the pans and run with the wolves.
That doesn't sound safe.
Aww.
Do yourself. I quit.
I get her frustration. I definitely feel it in the performance.
don't worry. Ma can turn into a barrel full of cranky once in a while. But
Shut up,
she'll be
Nikki.
back. I'm sure of it.
Well, Nona did not come back. So Uncle Nikki did what Uncle Nikki does best. He put someone else to work.
Oh my God, child labor.
Us.
Easy on the sauce there, Johnny. We ain't running a charity. Angela, show
They're
that
running a
dough
sweatshop,
boss.
obviously.
If we had known that it was going to take this much work to get a slice of pizza, I think we would have decided to be hungry for something else.
Where's these folks' pizza? It's been a long time. Who's watching the oven?
I don't believe that, that task was delegated.
Why,
Lousy leadership. Oh, jeez.
What's wrong with yous? Johnny and Gordy, I understand if you can't cook, but you're girls.
What are you
Oh,
implying,
jeez.
sir?
Aren't you supposed to know how to cook? Like, for the future?
Why? I don't want to be a
Oh.
cook. I'm going to be an astronaut.
Hey!
You know what? I don't need any of yous. I can do it myself. Now shoot! I got a business to
God.
run here. See? I made a perfectly good pizza. Who needs Nona, huh?
And this is how he gave 4 children food poisoning.
Hot trash.
Did you use Nona's secret recipe?
No,
Why not?
'cause it's a secret.
Suddenly, it was perfectly clear. If we wanted to save Abatti's pizza and our taste buds, we had to get Nona back.
But Nona, Uncle Nikki needs you.
I'm sick of waiting hand and foot on a Nicky when he has hands and feet of his own. This she-wolf is on a permanent vacation, eh?
Yeah.
If we can just get Nona to taste how bad Uncle Nicky's bad pizza is, she's bound to come back.
Hey, she's cooking again. Maybe it's barbecue pizza.
Nona, wait! Don't burn your apron!
Abatti's pizza is gonna close without you.
So, Gina Lash, you think my place is in the kitchen too, eh?
No, Nona,
You can make your own pizza!
We tried that, Nona, but Uncle Nicky would...
I don't want to hear about a Nicky!
Nona,
I get
wait,
where she's
you don't
coming from.
understand.
Oh, the frustration, the
Pizza is
angst.
for self-actualization and liberation. Amen, sister, girl power.
Ah,
But
fuck.
can you at least tell us the secret recipe?
Nona, what do we have to do to convince you to come back to the pizza parlor?
Here's the thing.
Nothing? Really? We've changed your mind?
No, I will never go back to that former caged lifestyle, eh? It sucks the
Oh,
essence
man,
of
this
my
is a-
inner she-wolf. I must be free! I will never go back!
Never? As in not ever? But if Nona Abatti doesn't come back, Abatti's Pizza will go out of business, and we will never eat good pizza again.
Oh my god, mustached Angela.
Conditions to find someone who can make pizza as good as Nona. I'm making pizza tasting like school lunch.
Oh no. I feel like he could be a good cook. Game show.
I brought the cinnamon and sugar.
Oh hey, a dessert pizza. Why? He's a good baker.
A whole large pizza fits in this one tiny capsule.
Oh my god, Astronaut Bob.
Frozen pizza on a stick. It's called a pizzicle.
Oh god. This Yamagotchi? An alien? Oh hey.
Is there nobody in this town who knows how to make a pizza like Nona Abatti? Yes.
Nona? Okay.
Nona Abatti is the only one who can make a pizza like Nona Abatti.
No duh.
Don't you see, Nona? We don't want you because we think that you should be cooking and slaving away like a slave. We need you on account of you are the best pizza maker in all of Tapwater Springs, and no one could ever replace you. Not even the fiercest she-wolf in the world.
Thank you, Angela. But, well, I have a big plans. It's too late for me to turn back now.
Where you gonna go, Nona?
Yeah, what is your plan? Are you gonna take up mud wrestling?
I don't
Oh my god.
I'm not
Johnny,
that chap.
no.
What to do now? Don't
I mean, she can do what she wants, but
Start your own business and be your own boss.
But Nona, you already do that.
I do.
Sure. You're a successful entrepreneur, a respected member of the community, and a woman ahead of your time.
Nona, you
Oh
already
my.
are a she-wolf.
Yes, I guess I am. Hey, Nicky!
Oh,
oh
Ma,
god.
Am I glad you're back? My laundry is piling up, and I haven't eaten a decent meal since you left.
Oh no, Nicky. Things are gonna be different around here. I take care of the pizza. You gotta take care of yourself, eh?
You're not gonna press my shirts no more?
Oh jeez.
You're not gonna clean my room and make my bed and tuck me in at night?
Oh
No,
my god.
No, and no.
Aw,
That man-child.
Ma. Will you still make me pastini with butter and fresh Parmesan cheese? You know, the way I like it so much?
Okay, Nicky, I'll do that. But only 'cause you're my baby.
Man baby.
No, all this emotional talk has really made me hungry.
Oh, Gina Lash. Want a large pizza pie coming up, huh?
You really do make the
Oh, jeez. I'm really not looking forward to the comments on this one. And I'm really not this finger wagging, this is problematic, this is wrong, and this is wrong, and this is wrong. I'm not that person. Yeah, there are definitely issues that someone like me would face that someone else wouldn't, and there's definitely issues that are unique to women that women face, and yeah, similar to men. And there's definitely a lot of bullshit out there when it comes to getting stuff done that will help certain people. But what I didn't like about this episode is that it felt like it was more about the message than it was a character's journey. Yes, there is very valid criticism out there about how women have been treated in animation, in life, how laws have negatively affected us. People have been listening, though, and it's seeing something that oversimplifies these issues, and it does more harm than good. It doesn't show you the human side of what's happening. And that's the worst thing about it. You're missing the context. You're not seeing that. And Anaconda doesn't need to do that. It tells rather than shows. It feels the need to talk this message at you, and it feels very propaganda-ish. It doesn't need to do that. When the best stuff about Anaconda is when it just lets a character express, when it just lets a character be. My favorite thing about the show is that it's Angela and her frustration. She has to deal with difficult people. She gets frustrated, she gets angry, it builds up to the revenge fantasy, and then she solves her problem. It doesn't have to preach at you to, oh, it's okay to be angry sometimes, everyone gets angry sometimes, like an after-school special or a trip to your guidance counselor's office. It feels it and expresses it, and like a real person, in a natural, organic way, and it doesn't have to preach at you. It's really well done. That's some of the best stuff. Some of the life's not fair stuff in the show, where Angela deals with inequality, it just shows her experiencing that and dealing with it and finding a way around that. Or with Gordy and his dad, they're very different people, but they still love each other. You know, they don't have to point out, oh, he likes football, he likes dancing, and how will they get along? No. They like each other. They're willing to be in each other's lives, and conflicts with them comes from other people's misunderstanding or just life getting in the way. Like Coach Reinhardt has to work more to be able to afford classes for Gordy, and Gordy's feeling neglected. That's just life happening. It doesn't have to preach at you. And it tells these stories in a very unique way because they had very unique perspectives behind them. And something that deals with unique women's issues in a very unique way, the movie and the musical Legally Blonde. It does it very well. It's true to itself. It's very earnest. It's very sincere. It lets a character experience issues. You set up who the character is and what they have to deal with. It's done very well. Avatar: The Last Airbender does something similar. It's very well handled. You see what this culture's like and how unfair this can be and how it does exist in the real world. And they have very unique female characters. It's, Katara and Toph and Azula, and they, some characters, some of them are more feminine, some of them less so, but it's just who they are, and it's natural, it's organic. It doesn't have to make a big show of it the way some people feel like they have to when they're writing, and you really, really don't. I really don't know if somebody at the studio said, hey, do a women's rights episode, do an episode with this message. And there's certainly a lot of times when companies will do the bare minimum or superficial activism without actually supporting employees or people in their respective communities. But on the off chance that it isn't, I may not be able to explain social issues very well, but I might be able to put some of this in perspective if it's coming from a more earnest place. And I'll use an episode of Crazy Ex-Girlfriend as an example, which I sadly couldn't get clips for. It's an episode in season 1 called I'm Back at Camp with Josh. And throughout the show, the main character, Rebecca, she's trying to win back this guy that she loved in her teenage years. So she's at a summer camp, and insists on doing this women's empowerment seminar, which of course none of the girls are into. They see right through it. And she does it in the most superficial way, but throughout the episode, she keeps getting more and more crap from the girls and the guy not picking up on how much she loves him, and all this stuff goes wrong. And eventually at the empowerment seminar, she breaks down and reveals she's the one who needs to be empowered, and she just wants so badly for this guy to like her. And that's when the girls start sympathizing, when they see the human side of what she's going through, instead of hiding behind buzzwords and empowerment, or earnestly but misguidedly trying to lift up other people. So that might be where some of it comes from. People who are lost themselves, latching onto something where you have more of a sense of purpose, you feel better about yourself, and you can channel that, at least in theory, into something more productive. And that might be the human side that, if it is coming from a more earnest place, and I can't quite tell with this episode, I don't know if it's the studio's decision or if it's someone actually really wanted to tell this, but that might be where it's coming from, that place where you yourself need some of this guidance. You want to feel powerful, and you've been made to feel bad for this. And this does come from an older place, especially as you could tell this was more about what was going on with women in the 60s, 70s. I mean, even the title, known as Lib, the liberation movement. Sadly, it does lack some of the context, and it does lack the human side. It does lack the human feeling, or it starts off specifically, Nona's frustrated with Nikki, but then it becomes more about her feeling disempowered as a woman, and that's where you lose me. It's not fun. Nobody likes to be lectured. And yes, sometimes you have to, people don't listen to you, and you do get to that point where you're screaming and yelling because you're just not being heard, you're just not being listened to. And then you're just dismissed. Yes, that's real, and that's a very real frustration. And when these episodes, when even the way Nikki's written, it's, one, I know people like that are out there, but it's so caricatured and it's so simplistic. It doesn't do men any favors either. It's, especially because the way it's, you see a lot of these caricatured depictions of really sexist people or feminists. They're in very dismissive ways, and it doesn't paint a realistic picture of the human side of it. Yeah. Nobody likes to be lectured. This episode definitely felt like a lecture. It definitely felt like you were being told something, but you weren't experiencing it. You weren't getting why these issues are important. You weren't getting a clear picture. You weren't seeing the human side of it. You were seeing a simplistic, caricatured lecture from maybe well-meaning, but you're not getting a real experience of these issues. Yeah, you get Nona's frustration with Nikki because as a character, but at the same time, you really get more of the sense of they wanted to have a message rather than they wanted to tell a story. And when they do stuff like that, Yellow Book Road is another example of it, it doesn't quite come together. But nobody likes to be lectured, and I want to see great characters. Yes, I want to see great female characters, and I want to see female characters who are allowed to be feminine, who are allowed to be masculine, who just are true to themselves regardless of what they are. And I'm happy to see that with male characters too. You don't need to point it out all the time. You don't need to point out gender differences. Yeah, you can poke a little fun at it for sure, and I think shows I grew up with did a little too much of that. Glad it's changing. But this is a rough one to get through. I do really believe that people are open to seeing stories about different kinds of people, because anything can be really good, and there are people from all genders, all races, that are very interesting, and a lot of boys did watch this show and like it very much. A lot of guys still watch this. You don't need... Yeah, absolutely, I'm not even against... I'm very for kids shows having tougher material in there and introductions to issues that people do face, that, hey, this is something that's unique to women, this is something unique to men, this is something unique to people of color. I'm open to that. I think some people are like, no, that shouldn't be in kids shows at all, but no. You can't shield kids from everything, but when it's told instead of shown, when it feels like a lecture, it feels very false, and if anything, it does more harm than good. But when you experience it, like you do in something like Avatar: The Last Airbender, or in Legally Blonde, or some of these shows, or even something like SpongeBob, they did some episodes about when comedy can go too far, and they're done very well. Like, April Fool's is a good example of that. Squirrel Jokes is a good example of that. So, you can have it in there, you can, but it's all about how you communicate. It's about how passionate are these characters. A good story's gotta be about good characters, and yeah, it can be influenced by your point of view. I mean, there is good stuff in the show, and there is a unique point of view behind it. I don't understand why you have some of this stuff. I'm not sure. But I like the show when it lets the characters just be characters, when it does have the tougher materials in there, and you're letting the characters experience it. You're letting the audience experience it. You're letting people see what that's all about. Yeah, I like the way, because the show does have a lot of relatability to it, because people do get revenge fantasies. People do deal with difficult people. There's endless comedy in that. There's endless fun you could have with that idea. You can even, and you can use comedy to make light out of difficult issues, out of difficult situations. But this one wasn't fun, and that's not fun for me. Nobody likes to watch... Okay, there's a lot of masochists out there, but in general, you want to watch people overcome issues, not just indulge in it. And this one is a hard one to get through. Well, I like the best of Anaconda, and I really am hard on this because it can be done well, and there is good here, and it doesn't need to force messages in there. Even if they're good messages and good ideas. I don't know how to end this. This one was hard. I still like the show, but there's better aspects about it.